All right, today I'm going to take a look at another little budget Chinese weld machine. Now this is primarily a little stick machine. And the reason I'm looking at this is because I got to thinking, I said, you know, instead of hauling my big prime weld, and I'm going to show you the size difference over here. Instead of, like, if a friend calls me, and trust me, they call me quite a bit to go do this, that, and the other, I'm like, well, man, I can throw this little machine. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. I can throw this little machine in the back seat of my car, the trunk, whatever. It's very small, but that's only if it can weld good. So we're going to see if it can. It's also supposed to be able to do lift arc TIG, not scratch arc, but lift TIG, and I want to make sure that's what it can do, see if it can do what it's advertised. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing and see if it's even worth $159. All right, so here it is right here, and just to give you an idea how small this is, it's 1 foot across this way, 8 inches tall, about 5 inches across here. I mean, you can see my hand here. Let me see if I can get you a shot of the size of it compared to my prime weld. Yeah, so there's the prime weld right here. Then there's that little dude. It ain't much bigger than that little miniature toolbox that Harbor Freight sells. And I like the fact that it's small as long as it can weld good. This is a 200 amp machine. Can you believe that? And it comes with just a stick whip and a ground. There's your stick whip. There's your adapter. And I kind of like that adapter. And as you can see, I've already got it plugged into my 240. If I have 240 as a choice, I'm always going with 240. Comes with this ground, and it also comes with this little wire brush. I've got probably 4 or 5 of these now, and I'm not going to use this today, and I'll tell you why. I have actually replaced the stick whip and the ground on my prime weld, so I did that because I wanted something better. By the way, this is the bigger, not the biggest, but it's the same size as my prime weld, the DENS connector here. I forget what size they call that. You got a variety of different connectors. But anyway, this is the same cable, but what I changed is the ground. Instead of that clamp, that thing was starting to overheat on me, and the copper band in it was turning dark on me, so I went ahead and just bought this little brass clamp, and I can just keep it mounted right here on the edge of the table. You can get a really good solid ground connection this way, because if you got a crappy ground, your amperage actually fluctuates a lot more as you're welding. It's going to somewhat anyway, but it does it really bad if you just got a weak spring and not getting a really good ground. So I would recommend something like this. Now, I'm not real crazy over the stingers that comes with any of these machines, prime weld included. So I went ahead and changed the stinger itself. Same cable that came with a prime weld, but here's the difference. This is a Lenco, and you put your rod in here and you lock it down. This thing bites. That rod is not falling out. I absolutely love this thing, so I'm using that instead of what they sent. The power button is right here, and quickly I'll show you the settings. This is on stick. Right now I got it set on 90 amps. You can press this button to change your, or add your hot start. It'll go up to 10% hot start, and that's where I got it set. That's the seconds on your hot start. I got it set for 1 second at 10% higher than 90. And then you got arc force. I'm not going to use the arc force. Don't need it. Then there's lift TIG. So it's saying it's got real lift TIG. We'll find out. Let's go back to stick. Let's try this little dude out. I've got some 3/8 steel. I've already taken the mill scale off, cleaned it up, and we're just going to run a 70/18. These are cheap 70/18s, but it should do okay. I'm going to try it at 90 amps see how it does. Now I do have the hot start set to 10%, so we'll see how that does. Love this whip here. Slide the rod in, give it a twist, and buddy, she locks her in there. All right, here we go. All right, let's see how we did. I actually could have came up just a tad more on my heat. I tell you what, I'm extremely happy with that. I only got one BB on it where I first started. Well, you tell I'm out of practice. If I'd have left that arc strike on a job, oh boy, that ain't good. Instead of striking right here, I got it just above it right there. Hey, I'm out of practice. What can I say? Yeah, not bad at all. Now, one mistake I made was I got this set so far back, and I had this angle like this, so when I was getting closer, my angle was changing. You can see it right there. What I should have done was bent this rod to where I'm feeding like this. That, or moved the whole thing closer to me. Let me get another rod, and we'll try it again. All right, I'm not going to move this plate. Instead, I'm going to adapt my angle to where I can go from start to finish with no problem. Yes, sir. Look at that. Bing. Beautiful. I tell you what, this thing welds stick as good as any stick machine I've ever had. Not just saying that, you can see it with your own eyes. Now I've got one root, one on the bottom. I need to put one on the top. We'll call that done on that side. There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, I want to show you something I did the other day, and I did try this machine beforehand, but this is just carbon steel. But you see that little weld right there and back here? That is a 309 rod. And I'll just show you that afterwards. I'm not going to do an arc shot of this. I figured instead of just showing you this, I'd actually show you running this rod. Now what I was going to do, I've already cleaned this up and I polished a piece here. This is stainless plate. I was going to actually do it stainless to carbon. I got to thinking, man, I really hate to weld on this plate. You know, this could have a use at some other time. So I decided not to do that. Instead, since I've already welded on this and it's just scrap piece, I say scrap. I don't believe anything is scrap. It can all be used for something. But this is a 309 rod. But anyway, let's give it a go here. I'm going to tell you, these rods get really hot. I know sometimes I'll burn half of it, let it cool off, then weld the other half. You could hear it kind of sputtering towards the end. Not the machine, it's the rods. Now don't expect this flux to come off quite as easy as 7018. Sometimes it gets on there so hard you just gotta really pound it off. This looks like it's already breaking loose, so. But you talk about a pretty little weld. You run that just like you do a 7018. Take and brush it off. That looks even better. Yes, sir. One little BB I would have to get off if I was actually doing this on a job. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, I hooked up my TIG rig. Now this is the one that goes in my prime weld. And you can see it, hopefully you can see it hooked in the machine. This is DC electronegative. You put this on your ground side and your ground goes on your positive side. This is called straight polarity. Now I took the argon hose that normally goes into the back of this machine. I hooked it to this coupling, and then this line normally goes to the front of the machine. There's a solenoid to let the gas on and off. Well, I'm having to bypass that. Now my torch does not have a valve here. With this kind of setup, you would typically use a torch that's got a valve. That way you can set your flow meter here. But the way it is now, it's just constantly pouring unless you got a way to cut it off, which is fine just to see if this is going to work. But I will have to pick up another torch in order to take this thing on the field. You don't want to be a long way from your argon bottle and just let it flow. You want to be able to turn that argon on right when you need it. All right, so let's see if this thing is going to work. Now, I'm not going to really weld with this. I just want to, I mean, I am and I ain't. I just want to test it on something. So let's see if this is lift arc. Now, with lift arc, you're either going to see no spark or you might see a very small spark. I've seen both. But now with scratch arc, it's pretty violent. It pops, you know. So let's see how this one reacts. That's pretty good. That didn't try to stick my tungsten or anything like that. So yeah, I like that. This sort of TIG weld just fine. I know this video is running long, so y'all see me TIG weld on other videos. All right, let's close this video. Well, you've seen firsthand just how well this thing can weld. Now, I could have did some vertical, did some overhead, but you don't need to. I don't need to for it to tell me just how well. I had perfect arc control. Those puddles, it wasn't doing a lot of spitting and popping. I don't know if y'all remember, but around the year 2005, somewhere way back then, you could get them little cheap weld machines that didn't cost a whole lot, and they welded like crap. They spit, they popped, they sputtered, they run your electric bill up, and they were not inverter machines. This is before inverters really become mainstream, and that happened because a certain company lost their patent on this, or actually it expired due to age, and everybody jumped on board. That's why you have so many different companies with these little inverter machines, and so far I've been really impressed with them. They weld that stick welds is, I'm not even going to say my prime weld. It welds as good as any weld machine I've ever welded with. And you got 200 amps in that little box. That's pretty impressive. Can't go wrong, especially for the price. If you got a need for this in your garage, just something to have around the house just in case, you can't beat that price. And I want to thank SoFastBeat for sending it to me, because a lot of times I give these welders away to my sons and stuff, but I'm going to keep this one. This is going to make a great little portable stick welder if a friend needs something done or whatever. I do got to buy the right TIG rig for it to what that will work, and that's nothing. You know, they do not send a TIG rig with this. They only send the stick whip, the ground, and that's primarily what they're selling it as a stick welder, but it will do lift TIG, which is pretty impressive too. I figured it would have been scratch TIG. Any DC stick welder can do scratch TIG, any of them, but this will do actual lift TIG. I wish I could have showed that to you. Appreciate you watching. I'm Russ Jones with Skill Savvy DIY.